Hello Bloomington, I'm Mayor Tim Busse, and this is the Council Minute for the week of September 14th. For the past several weeks, Council members and I have been hearing from a number of residents concerned about hotels in Bloomington that have been used as temporary shelters, especially since the onset of the pandemic, for people experiencing homelessness or housing instability. Recently, I asked staff to report to the City Council and to the community and to lay out the facts so we can know what is happening and what's being done to ensure that Bloomington remains a safe community. This week, staff did just that. Going back to March and April, several hotels have entered into contracts with agencies like Hennepin County to provide services to homeless and vulnerable populations. Several other hotels have dramatically reduced their nightly rate for rooms, making it possible for people to stay for extended periods of time at a monthly cost that is often less than the cost of an apartment. Since April, Bloomington police have seen a significant increase in the number of calls for service to these hotels and the areas around them. The reasons are many. Some of the sponsoring agencies didn't have the correct staffing levels in place. Other agencies have more of a hands-off policy when it comes to supervising people using their services. Some hotels are being managed better than others, and frankly, there were some not very good people staying in those hotels. Whatever the reason, the conditions were not at all acceptable. City staff began working with the agencies and the hotels to demand improved oversight. And Bloomington police increased their attention on problem properties. We are now to the point where we're seeing improvement in how some of those hotels are being run. For properties that continue to have unreasonably high criminal activity, we have legal processes and enforcement tools in place for nuisance properties that are being used to gain compliance. One of the challenges for property owners is that an executive order prohibiting eviction does not allow them to move people out unless they are a public safety threat or a public nuisance. Staff has been in regular contact with the property owners and the 3 hotels that have agency contracts, and they've all indicated that the contracts terminate at the end of the year and there are no plans to extend those contracts. So where does that leave us? Well, I'm encouraged by the work of our outstanding police department, along with the engagement of staff from legal and community development in this matter. Our staff does an excellent job of working with property owners to address this kind of issue. I'm also hopeful that the agencies who are serving homeless people understand the concerns that you and I have for the safety and well-being of our entire community, and that they're taking steps to move their clients and tenants into safe, stable housing that is able to provide the supports that people experiencing homelessness need. The reality is that homelessness is a regional issue, and we need a regional approach to address this problem. You add to this challenge a pandemic, and the fact is we are in uncharted waters right now. But here is where I and your City Council members agree with you 100%. While we work with our government and nonprofit partners to compassionately meet the needs of vulnerable and at-risk people in our communities, we cannot and will not accept conditions that threaten the perception of safety in our neighborhoods. We've directed our staff to provide regular updates to the City Council to make sure we continue to see improvement and reduce crime and disturbances. The City Council approved a preliminary tax levy for the budget year 2021 this week. The city is required by state law to follow a 2-step process to approve our budget and tax levy each year. Before we can adopt the final levy in December, we have to adopt a preliminary levy in September. The preliminary levy tells property tax owners the maximum amount of taxes the city intends to collect in the coming year. We can lower that number in December when we adopt the final budget and levy, and history shows that we usually do, but we cannot increase the levy from what we set this week. After much discussion, the Council set the preliminary levy increase at 5%, and I want to spend a couple of minutes talking about why we chose that amount and what that means for you. As I've said here for the past 5 months, the City of Bloomington is being hit hard by the economic fallout of the pandemic. We brought together a committee of Bloomington residents to analyze our budget challenges and to provide a resident-based recommendation for options for next year. Here's what we know. In 2019, the city took in more than $10 million from lodging taxes and admissions taxes. Those taxes help us keep property taxes low. Because the hospitality and entertainment industries have been especially devastated by the pandemic, we're expecting to receive only half that amount in 2021. That means we have a multi-million-dollar hole in our city's budget. The Community Budget Advisory Committee has been looking at this, and last month they recommended the City Council set a preliminary levy increase of nearly 6.5%. The rationale was twofold. First, the impact of a 6.5 levy increase would be about $5 a month for the median valued home in Bloomington. And the committee felt that in this current environment, that was about the absolute maximum we could ask from taxpayers. And second, the committee wants to provide some room for flexibility as we work through some challenging discussions and felt that a lower number might box the City Council into some difficult decisions. While the City Council appreciated that perspective, each of the council members spoke to the real economic concerns that exist for you. We're all hearing it, and more importantly, we're all listening. At the 5% levy amount that was adopted, we're going to have to reduce the city's budget by nearly $2 million. And honestly, it's hard to imagine a scenario where we would adopt a 5% levy increase. I've asked the advisory committee to put together 3 options for council consideration, and I'm confident those options will be less than 5%. And it's important to remember that as the levy number goes down, the amount that will need to be cut from the city's budget goes up. That number will be somewhere between $2 and $5 million, and whatever that number is, it will mean a reduction in city services. Services provided directly to you, the residents of Bloomington, and provided by an outstanding city staff. We will all have decisions to make, and we need your input. Community meetings will be held on October 15th and October 17th to get your input. The proposed reductions will be very clear, and we need to hear from you. We need to know what you think. For the past several years, a group of veterans has been working with city staff to develop a Veterans Memorial in Bloomington. In 2018, the group became a nonprofit, Bloomington Remembers Veterans, and this week they joined staff and provided an update to the City Council, and I'm excited to report that they have made a big stride forward. Earlier this year, the group put out a request for qualifications for artists and designers interested in working with the committee to create a memorial on the east side of Civic Plaza. The committee received more than 20 submissions, 12 of them met the RFQ criteria, and the committee ultimately selected 4 artists to move forward for consideration. And folks, it's an impressive group. Each of these artists have produced inspiring memorials and pieces in Minnesota and around the country. They will be interviewed later in October, and the final design will be presented to the City Council in November. This is an exciting project for our community. It will provide a meaningful and well-deserved tribute to our neighbors who have sacrificed and served their country. I am very much looking forward to sharing more as the vision begins to take form. I also want to acknowledge the timing of this presentation was serendipitous, as it occurred on the same night where I read a proclamation for POW MIA Recognition Day. This Friday, September 18th, is the day when nationally we honor those who served in conflict and did not return home because they remain missing in action or unaccounted for, and for those who demonstrated incredible courage and bravery as prisoners of war. We're flying the black and white POW MIA flag over Civic Plaza and Public Works this week, and I'm proud to have one of those flags in my office on permanent display. Let's never forget the debt of gratitude we owe to those who put service above self. That's a wrap on this week's Council Minute. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Be well and stay safe, Bloomington.